Hello, my name's Michelle Barrett. I'm from Capsule Closet Stylist. I help people all over the world build capsule wardrobes and find their style confidence again. So today we're going to talk about keep or discard. 10 tips to declutter your wardrobe. Let's get started. Now, when you declutter your wardrobe, one of the best tips that I can give you is to create a space where you can lay everything out in one go. If you don't have the time or you have that many clothes that you can't do it all in one go, then take it by garment type. So start with jeans or start with shirts or jackets or whatever it is, but make sure you get everything and put it all into one place. So from the car, the shed, the basement, the loft, wherever you've got clothes, put them all together in one place, because only that way will you actually be able to see how much you own and how much you don't need as well, usually. So number one of the first things that I want you to question when you look at any garment in your wardrobe is, does it fit? Now, I know this is a bit of a controversial one, which is why I wanted to tackle it first. So if you were a size, whether it be larger or smaller, and you're working towards getting back to that size that you were actively right now and you're seeing changes, then by all means keep those items. But what I would suggest you do is put them aside for the time being. So put them somewhere where you can get access to them, but you're not seeing them every day, because I don't think it's necessarily good for your mental health to be looking at something that you're not every day. If throughout this season, so if you're creating a capsule wardrobe for winter or spring, summer, if throughout this season you don't go back and get that garment out because you don't quite make that size, then consider at the end of the season getting rid of it at that point. But at the bit in between, just put it aside, and if you need it, you can still get it and you're not wasting your money having to buy something again because you've lost or gained that weight, but it's not in front of you every day. Number two, lifestyle. Now, this is a really important one. People don't think about how their clothes fit their lifestyle. What they do is generally they'll go out and buy something and then try and squeeze it into their lifestyle. Instead of that, think about your normal week or your normal month and divide it up by percentages. So let's say 20% of the time you go out in the evening, or you go to you go to a yoga class or whatever it is. 60% of the time you're at work, and 20% of the time you're with the children or whatever it is, or you're with your family. Break up your lifestyle in a general percentage. It only has to be rough, and it will give you a general idea of what you need, how you need your garments to serve you. So consider that with every garment you've got, consider how that garment fits into that lifestyle. Now, if there's something that you do on a yearly basis, like a special occasion, by all means, keep a garment for that special occasion. If you have to go to a ball, you go skiing once a year, so you've got a ski suit, keep it. By all means, keep that. Otherwise, on those occasions, those exceptional, maybe yearly occasions, consider hiring, because you can hire also. You can even hire, amazing, beautiful evening dresses now. I think it's Rent the Runway is one of them. There's some from most countries now you can hire them. You can hire them in what colour you want and also what size you want. So think about your lifestyle, think about what your lifestyle needs, and make sure each garment in your wardrobe meets those needs. Number three, colour. Now, if you've had a colour analysis done, fantastic. So you'll have a really good idea of what colours suit you and what ones don't. If you try to do it yourself, that's a good start. If you're really not sure and you'd like to know what colours suit you, head over to the website, click on the little button at the top which says book a free consultation, and talk to me, and I can talk to you about how I can help you work out what colours suit you. So if you've got a colour palette, so you've got your colour analysis done, you know what colours suit you, and you've chosen a colour palette, I always suggest to people that you choose under around 8 colours. It doesn't mean you have to stick to those 8 colours for the rest of your life, but what it does mean is it helps you concentrate on building that capsule wardrobe and deciding what should go and what should stay. Now, if something in your wardrobe doesn't quite fit the colour that one of the colours you've chosen, then keep it for the time being, just with the intention, make a note, download my free capsule wardrobe guide at Capsule Closet Stylist /1ONE. And you can download that, and that you can fill that out as you go along. Actually, with this, it'd be fantastic help. So just keep that colour item in that colour at the moment, and then just make a note though to actually replace it at a later date with something that's more aligned with the colours that you've chosen. Number 4, style. Now, style is really similar as well. If you kind of know what body shape you are, you know what styles you love, then whenever you buy anything, consider whether it fits with the rest of your wardrobe. Now, if you've got items in your wardrobe you've bought previously because, I don't know, you felt pressure of a certain trend, or you felt pressure to fit in somewhere, and you've got this style of garment in your wardrobe which you kind of thought would be a good thing, but actually you never wear it because it just doesn't feel right, and it also doesn't go with everything else in your wardrobe, then consider getting rid of that too, and don't replace it with something else as well similar. Number 5, duplicates. Now, there is no problem in having duplicates in your wardrobe if you need them. Now, if you've got, say, 10 pairs of leggings, I had one client who had 20 pairs of black leggings in her wardrobe. And it was only when she was watching one of my videos, she commented and she told me that she didn't realise she had 20 till she actually went in and counted them. So if during your declutter you realise you have multiple, another one is white shirts. People often have lots of white shirts as well. So look at what you've got. If you've looked at your lifestyle and you've thought about that, think about how many of them you actually need, and to declutter it down, consider which ones are the oldest and which ones are the lesser quality, and think about how many you actually need and choose the top quality and the newest, basically, and the ones that feel best on you as well and fit you well and all those kind of things. So kind of go through all the different questions with each garment and choose the best out of the lot, essentially. But make sure they fit you well and that you feel good in them as well. That's really important. Number 6, uncomfortable. Now, this doesn't have to necessarily be to do with style. It can do, or size. It can do with, as well, the type of fabric that it's in. Now, if you bought that beautiful lace top, but it's so itchy and it irritates your skin, what is the point in keeping it? Put it aside. Or if you absolutely love that style, then consider making a note again in the Capsule Wardrobe Guide and consider replacing it at a later date. There is no point in you wearing something if it feels uncomfortable, and that goes for shoes and everything. I decided a long time ago that I was not going to bother with wearing heels anymore. I've got quite wide feet and I find them so uncomfortable. I just don't do it anymore because it's just not worth it. I don't want to be walking around in pain, basically. So if you've got something like that in your wardrobe that you never wear, then consider putting that aside as well. Number 7. Now this one is just as equally as important as the last one, things feeling uncomfortable. Does it mentally feel right? Now, it could be that that particular garment is from a time in your life which you don't do or you don't need anymore. So if mentally it doesn't feel right, it could be that it reveals too much of your body, so it doesn't quite feel right. It could be that it feels too frumpy, so it doesn't quite feel right. It could be from a time where you were feeling quite low and unhappy about yourself, so you were covering yourself up, and now you're trying to make an effort to feel better about yourself. So that feels quite drab. Whatever the reason is, if there is some mental association with that garment that doesn't make you feel good, I would almost 100% say get rid of it. Particularly as well if it's associated with somebody you were with previously that has a kind of negative impact. Get rid of it. Number 8. Now, number 8 is often a tricky one, and I do consider myself a minimalist, and I do consider myself to have a capsule wardrobe, and I do consider myself to abide by most of the rules of that. But some minimalists will say to you, if you have a sentimental item take a photo of it and then get rid of it and donate it or whatever you decide to do with it. I don't necessarily actually agree with that, and I think it's entirely up to you. So I'm definitely not going to turn around and say to you, get rid of it, because I don't know the reasons behind why you've kept that particular item. I have myself a couple of berets that my nan's, she was like the matriarch of the family, absolutely wonderful woman, and I would not just want a photograph of them. It wouldn't feel the same. So if you have a garment that for a sentimental reason you've kept, as long as it's a positive sentimental reason, then I would consider maybe putting it on display. You can get a display box or something like that, or you could keep it somewhere else, but don't have it in your wardrobe every day. It might get damaged. But alternatively, if you feel a little bit less attached to it, then maybe consider donating it to, if it's old or it's vintage, donate it to a museum or a costume house, or sell it. Number 9. Now this is one of the most important ones, but recently it's kind of doesn't have so much impact, and that is, when was the last time you wore it? Now, obviously, because of the pandemic, 99% of us have been working in a different way to what we usually would, and we've not travelled as much as we usually would. So there will be items in our wardrobe that ordinarily we would wear, but we haven't worn as much over the last year, 18 months, 2 years. So use your common sense with this one, but ordinarily, I would say if you haven't worn it for a year, consider getting rid of it. Now, if it's something associated with work or travel that you know shortly, as things are starting to open up now, you are going to wear again, then maybe keep it. But otherwise, consider getting rid of it. And a really easy way of doing this is right at the beginning of the year, or any point in the year, really, you can start doing this. Each time you wear something, turn the hanger around the other way. By the end of that year, then, you know what you've worn and what you haven't worn. So consider getting rid of the other garments. Finally, number 10. Now, if you've got any garments that are damaged, there are 2 things you can do with this, okay? And I really want you to listen to this one. Whether the zip's broken, whether it's got a bit of bleach on it, whether the seam's coming away, whether the hem's coming down, whatever it is, there's 2 options. One is either you fix it yourself now, or you put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day and you aim to get it fixed as soon as possible. So you take it to a tailor, or you take it wherever you need to take it to get it fixed. But instead of just hanging it back up in the wardrobe, I want you to put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day. And if you can't afford to get it all fixed and everything straight away, just put it somewhere where it's in your mind, so you are going to get it fixed, and aim to get it done as soon as possible. Alternatively, if you're not going to get it fixed, you have no intention of getting it fixed, you don't know what else to do with it, and if it's something that has maybe got some bleach on it or something like that, and you're not quite sure whether to put a patch on it, whether anything can be done with it, take it to somebody and ask. Or go into a group, like a kind of style group, or a kind of fashion group or something, and get some ideas from other people. But otherwise, get rid of it. So I hope you found that helpful. For more tips and tricks on capsule wardrobes, creating the style you love, colour and style, subscribe below. Let me know in the comments of anything else you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.